Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Great Canadian Beard with your host, Mr. Matty Sargent.
Welcome back, the Great Canadian Beard Podcast, Episode 2. Super pumped to still be on the air. I expected to be off the air already too, don't worry. Or I was already going to be replaced or something, but don't worry about it. Here we are, I'm still on the fucking air. That's right, I just swore I can do that. It's my own podcast. Super pumped now to be joined by a good friend of mine, good Canadian, local guitar legend, we'll call him. Sitar legend. Just a musician all around. Just a beauty. Good buddy of mine, Ben Hanna from Silver Creek Folk. Ben, thank you for joining us on the Great Canadian Beard Podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, look at Benji's beard. It's friggin' out there and wild.
Thanks for having me. I didn't realize that it was going to be such a cool name.
Oh, well, this is only the second episode of the inaugural show, so you know.
Nice.
We're just out there rocking, man. Just had my first guest on. We had Alpine Beard Co. Great guys, Jordan and Matt from, I think they're from Kitchener, actually. Got their own beard company up and running, so hopefully get some products and be able to check that stuff out sooner rather than later. I'll have to hook you up. Look at Benji's beard. Go back to Benji there for a second. Look at Ben's beard. It's pretty rocking. It's nice. It's flush. There it is. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ben's been growing that for a long time. I've known Ben since high school, and, you know, he's been growing it for a while. Him and his brother his brother Kyle, both in Silver Creek Folk, a very local band. Hey, there it is, Kyle. Good stuff. But Silver Creek Folk, how did you guys even start? What happened there?
Kyle had just graduated university, and I was going to school for music production, and our father wanted to know what we were going to do with our lives. And instead of saying that we were going to throw it all away, we threw it all away anyways and said we were going to become musicians.
So you guys went balls deep with that one there, right?
Yeah, well, we went as deep as one could go. We were already playing music for a while, but we decided to start the studio, and out of that birthed the band.
Now, when you say start the studio, what do you mean?
I've got a recording studio that I run with my brother and another fellow bandmate, Jordan. And we produce music and do albums and records for other people, as well as, like, I don't know, we're creating all sorts of interesting things over here.
Are you guys trying to create a feel and, like, a vibe, or you just got your own thing going?
I mean, there's definitely a vibe to the space when you come here. I like to think that the three of us have a pretty certain vibe when you see us or hang out with us. But other than that, we're doing whatever needs to be done. I would say there's a vibe to our music, and then people that we're producing that are interested in our music. But whoever comes through the door, we can make it happen.
So there you go. You got first-hand knowledge there. Ben, not only is he a musician, producer, he hooks everybody up, helps people out when they come through, plays on other people's tracks, does all that fun jazz. But then you got the actual band, Silver Creek Folk. You guys have been making a huge splash in the Toronto scene over the last, I don't know, let's say 2 years. You guys have been playing a lot of shows downtown, hitting up the Horseshoe. You're hitting up Red Dog up in Peterborough, I believe it is. I mean, going down to Windsor a little bit, but mainly in Toronto. How's that going? Now, how's that been?
It's been great. I mean, there's lots of beautiful venues in Toronto. We've been fortunate enough to play at all the cool ones, or the majority of the cool ones. But yeah, it's been great. And recently well, not so recently, but like the last half a year or so, we've been the house band at Vapor Central, which I suppose you would know about. But that's been probably the coolest gig ever, just because it's completely changed how we play as a band, and we've uncovered this entirely new thing.
Now, when you're saying that, you're going from a bar atmosphere where you're used to having, let's say, Brett Reynolds out in front row having a party, or now you're going to a nice chill lounge where you're supposed to take because you guys do play some pretty hard rock. I'm going to give you that. If you guys check them out on YouTube, /Silver Creek Folk, or you can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, go check out their music. 'Cause you know what? They've got some great tracks. Some hard tracks, but they've also got some soft tracks. So tell me, when you're going from a bar atmosphere, when everyone's a little bit, plastered, drunk, whatever you want to call it, going into an atmosphere that's a lot more chill like Vapor Central, what's that like? There's got to be a big, huge difference for you.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's, like you're saying, we've got some rock and roll tunes, and when you're at a bar or a venue where there's a lot of people who have been consuming alcohol and are there for loud music, it's like it's like war, you know. The louder and harder you play, the more the crowd will crave blood, and it'll turn into a pretty amplified thing. Whereas the chilled out crowd is completely different. You don't want to yell at them. You don't want to get them amped up. They don't want to get amped up. So it's more about creating an environmental sound or a tone or a feeling, and it's much more jazzy and jammy when we do that, and really not much rock. Well, there's still rock and roll elements to it, but it's not like you're saying. It's not like our shows that would be at the Horseshoe or whatever.
So last year during the Canadian Music Week, I think that's what it's called, right? Canadian Music Week Festival or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? You guys had a pretty good position to play that. Are you guys planning on going back this year?
Yeah, we are playing there this year. I guess they're just like rolling out the announcements shortly. But yeah, I'm not sure which venue we're playing, but I do know we're playing it, and we've been working on this record for the last 8 months, so we're going to kind of release that in conjunction with in that area to try to keep the momentum going.
Now, not that I have been pressuring you into putting out your second EP, but your first EP, the first 6-track, 7-track EP, you guys can check it out. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music. You can check it out on YouTube at /Silver Creek Folk. But I've been trying to wait for the second EP to come out for months and months now. Do you have a date for that, Ben?
It's true. There is no date, but I can say that it's quite close, and it's not like our old EP where we kind of just strung together a demo before we were even really a band. You know, we went out and toured for a year and a half, and then we've spent a lot of time digging into the sound of this one and making sure it's the best thing that we put out as a band by far, and the best thing that the studio's put out by far.
Now, your first EP had a nice feel. You guys trying to introduce yourselves and all that jazz. The second EP. Now, what can we feel in the second EP?
What's coming in the second EP?
What is coming in the second EP is probably a better way to put it.
Psychedelic rock and roll music. Some hard stuff, some in the pocket. Something for everybody, and some things that'll probably tickle your ears and maybe make you feel like you're under the influence of certain substances.
All right. Well, Ben from Silver Creek Folk, he's on with us. Ben, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it, man. I know you're a busy guy with the studio and with the band and everything else that you do in the Halloween party and cooking spaghetti sauce and stuff. But
yeah, last night making spaghetti for the Halloween party.
That's it, brother. But so next couple months, I'm sure I'm gonna have you back on the show at some point. But do you guys have any shows coming up in the next few months that you want people to come out and check out?
We're playing tonight at Vapor Central, that jazz psychedelic experience thing, and March 10th we're at the Smiling Buddha, which will be more of a rock and roll gig. But if you want to experience something truly unique, come tonight to Vapor Central, because it's turning into something crazy.
So Vapor Central, you can catch them there maybe probably once a month. Then hopefully if you go on, keep following them on YouTube, keep following them on Instagram, Facebook. They're going to keep rolling out new dates, new venues, because they're going to start touring sooner rather than later for the second EP when it finally comes out, Ben. And
Yep.
Kyle, finally when it comes out, looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, man.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the Great Canadian Beard.
Great
It's a pleasure,
Canadian
man.
beard. Thanks, Matt. I truly appreciate it. It was a blast.
Thank you very much, man. And again, we'll hopefully get you guys on in the next couple weeks, then give us a little recap or a little update about what's going on with you guys.
Maybe we'll have a track. We'll have a track for you then.
See, if you want to release a track on the show, a little bit more incentive to tune in.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay, so everyone, you got to tune in next time when we have Ben and Kyle. Kyle's in the background there. Next time when we have Ben and Kyle here on the Great Canadian Beard, you'll get a first-hand listen at the first track, first single of the second EP. And that's a promise. I'm calling it. You guys promise?
I guess so. I guess so.
There.
I can't make a promise to a good friend.
That's awesome. All right, Ben, thank you very much for joining us here, man. I really appreciate it.
Later.
All right, guys. So that's the second episode of the Great Canadian Beard podcast. Not so bad. Hopefully don't get replaced after this one, but we'll see what happens. Again, tune in to Silver Creek Folk. Unfortunately, this is going to come out before, or going to come out after their big event at Vapor Central on the, what is it today? the 17th. This is going to come out after that, unfortunately, but that's okay. They're there once a month, so just keep following them on Instagram. Check them out on Facebook. Check them out wherever you're on social media, they're on. And they keep rolling out dates. They'll let you know where they're at. Check you later.